Officially welcome to the final leg of the WAAW Foundation Alumni Learning Series, in specific focus to the scholarship application workshop. I'd say it's been great. This is me coming in from the program's perspective. Are we achieving what we hoped to do? Yes, at least I'm also still seeing responses from the feedback form. So we're on track. And this is the final leg. Now, please note that today's session is going to take 1 hour and 30 minutes. So we're not going to use 2 hours like the previous classes. And this is the last one, like I'd mentioned. So very shortly now, I'll be handing over to Lucy. Well, she's going to start by 3:15. That's 3:15 my time. So as at now, it's 3:12. So in the next 3 minutes, she would start. But before we hand over to Lucy, is there anybody in the room who has their material that would like her to review it? Because we had requested for that last week, but we didn't get any response. Is there anybody in this room who would like his or her scholarship material to be reviewed during this call? Do we have anybody? Your CV, your reference letter sample that you probably have, your statement documents. Is there anything that you want her to review so that you can share ahead? And let's see if there's something we can do within the short time. Okay, I'm seeing Winifred. Winifred, your hands are raised. Do you want to speak? Can you speak so we get clarity on what you have?
Good evening. I was raising my hand concerning your question, so I have something that
Okay.
I would appreciate a third pair of eyes on.
What documents would that be?
It's an essay for Global Voices Scholarship, University of East Anglia.
Okay. So I will check with Lucy now, but between you, are you able to share your screen if we give you the access to? Since we don't have the documents yet, because ideally it would have been great if we had it, but for this short period, do you have access to share your screen when that time comes of the document?
I'm on my phone. Can I share the document instead?
Okay. Give me a second. I'll respond back to you on that. Let me check in with Lucy. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, let me just drop my email. I'll drop my email, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Lucy.
Drop it.
So Winifred, did you hear that?
All right, I could send to Lucy's email, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay then, so Lucy, we can start now. Thank you. Winifred, she has dropped it now, so you can send it ahead. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try to open the email down. So once it comes, I receive the notification. Okay. All right. Let me just quickly share my screen. Hi guys, how are you all doing? It's the last day of our class today, and I hope you guys are excited about what we have put together. Please confirm if you can now see what I'm sharing.
Yes, Lucy, we can see your screen.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, so it's gonna be, so we have done majority of the work through day 1 and day 2. So this is just more like the theory is more like still almost like day 1, which is preparing and how best to position your profile and yourself, before you get to apply, because we can't talk too much about preparation, because that is where you're going to get result from, right? Because if you don't prepare, there's nothing you are expecting back, nothing good. That is the word, nothing good. Yeah, so if you want to get real result, then you need to prepare. So which is the reason why I always shout about the preparation. So if you hear too much of it today again, it's because I can't talk too much about this enough. We just need to, you know, be well prepared about that. So the theory is more around building your portfolio and submission strategy. So we're going to go into that in details today. And just a recap from last class. Last class was more around, okay, where do you find scholarship? I think I talked about a little bit about ScholarWaka as well, because a few persons were not in the first class. So I had to go through the ScholarWaka website and how you can find scholarships on our website. I will go over that again today, just for those who may have missed the previous classes. And then we did a deep dive into scholarship document, which is one of the most important part of applying for scholarships. If you don't have the right document, if you're not in a good place, it's almost like I'm wasting my time doing these applications. So we went through what they need to look like and how you need to put them together. And like I said today, I'm going to go through using ChatGPT to help us. How you can use AI to help support your applications. You want to edit your CV, you want to write a recommendation letter. How do you use this information now to enhance your application? We're going to, go into that shortly. Now, about building academic portfolio, it's very important for us to know that nobody even needs to remind you, like you already know that every scholarships are very key about your academic profile. They want to see how good you are academically, although they're not going to judge you based on only your academic merit. Some scholarships judge majorly based on academic merit, depending on the scholarship goals, but they also have other criteria that they use to judge or to assess applicants. But however it is, whatever kind of scholarship you're applying for, whether they are judging based on academic profile or giving back or volunteering, whatever, it's good for you to know that if you position yourself very well academically, it also helps you to be in the right place or helps you to be like, almost among those who will be getting the scholarship. So first thing is, I know that people I'm speaking to now, they're already done with school. We are already like graduates. So I would say maintaining a strong GPA will be what I will preach to those who are currently in school, like our current fellows, right? I will tell them, please do all your best. Have all the sleepless nights because of good GPA. If you have the goal to move abroad, if possible, do all your best to get at least a 2-1. At least at that phase, you know that you have passed that major criteria of, because many scholarships, some would say first class, but majority, like 80-90% will say 2-1 is acceptable. So you want to meet that particular criteria first, and then every other thing is what you're going to do. But for us already done with school, yeah, the data has been done already. If you do not have a 2-1 or you currently have a 2-2, how can you then ensure that with whatever grades you have in school, how do you ensure that you can still enhance it with other through other means? So first thing I will also say is that, of course, maintain your academic performance if you can. For those who may be doing masters currently or doing postgraduate diploma in their country, whatever you're doing, just try to have good academic performance. Two, when applying for scholarships as well, choose the courses that aligns to your career goal or the scholarship goals. So what I mean by this is, if you're applying for, let's say, scholarship that are in the health related field, and you are someone that is, let's say, you are in engineering or whatever course that is not aligned to this program, how do you align your program or your course to what the scholarship is looking for? So to avoid disappointment, to avoid unfortunate emails because you did not choose well, always ensure that whatever program you're choosing aligns with the scholarship goals, and also show consistency in your improvement. So what this means is that when you are applying for scholarship, nobody's looking at perfection. right? You can be a 2-2 graduate, but yet your profile outside academics is very loud. You are very strong with giving back. You have good academic, you have um good professional record, you have good impact record. So all of this, even people that are also very good in research as well. Not everybody have not everybody are good when it comes to writing exams, right? Because of course you need to cram, you need to read. People might not be good in that area, but they are good in other areas. So if there are other areas that you have strength in, let's say for instance, research projects, writing for publications, co-authors for academic papers, if those are your strengths, of course, do all of those to also enhance your academic profile. Another thing that will also help you stand out is your professional experience. This is also a very key thing. One, I would always say that do not neglect or do not think like your internship experiences are not important. They are very important. Like schools in France, because I've really applied for several schools in France, right? They appreciate internship experiences a lot. In fact, if you're studying in France for your master's, almost all their master's program involve you doing an internship, whether 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, while you are on your master's program. They see it as this is where you're going to get some practical experience before you are done with school, because it helps to align your academic work to professional work, right? So if you have opportunity for you to do internship while you are still in school studying, please do so because they also help. And also your work experience as well in your field matters a lot. They have a way of enhancing. So somebody might say now, okay, what if I am not studying, or what if I'm not working in my field of study? I'll give myself as an example. When I was done with school, my background was in chemical engineering, right? But I worked 4 years in WAAW Foundation, and I was more into program management. And then personally, I really had interest in STEM, right? So I did a lot of projects in STEM, lots of trainings in STEM. I think it was deliberate for me keeping that record of STEM because STEM still aligns to my field in engineering. So I could justify why I am still doing STEM because, yes, I want to go back to school. I want to go for my master's. I have the goal to, impact. So I'm still keeping that STEM, whatever, also in my portfolio so that when I want to go to the next step, I could enhance that. So whatever field you are, try to ensure that it also aligns to your future goals, right? During our last the ScholarWaka last workshop, one of our speakers, I think she studied something art in school. And then when she was applying for scholarship, she had to figure out, okay, what can I apply for that also aligns, that does not even align to what I studied, because she wanted to do like a career change, right? So she had to figure out, okay, from what I currently do during my NYSC or now that I am in Nigeria trying to figure out my life, which field can I tilt to that I will still use to apply for global opportunities and I will still get a chance. So that was where she dived more into humanity related kind of program, like international development or communications, and those kind of programs were where she was applying for. So you have to be strategic about where you want to really tilt your experiences to, because of course you have a long-term goal to go for your master. So you have to be very strategic about that as well. So, like I said earlier, real life experience project really helps you to stand out. So you should be very practical about showing all of those in your application. So this is not just about you saying that you just want to learn, but it shows that whatever you have learned, you are applying them into reward. You are applying them into whatever you find around you. So those are one of the things. The other key area as well is for you to tell your story really well. Sometimes we have a story to tell, but we can't put them together. I think that is one of the major challenge we face when it comes to applying for scholarships. Even applying for school admissions, we have the story to tell, we have the experience, we know what we want to do, but how do we put this together now to make it stand out? And this is where these AI tools also becomes very important, or this is where they also become very useful to us because they can help us fine-tune our head, whatever thoughts we have in our head, they can help us fine-tune them into what scholarship committee wants to see, right? So which is what I'm also going to show to you guys, how you can use, these tools to also enhance or help you to tell your story. Because if you don't tell your story well, nobody knows what it is. For instance, Ura is the program manager for WAAW Foundation scholarships, right? And people just recently completed the applications. They are now in the review phase. If Ura says, send me, if do a 2 minutes video telling me about your passion for WAAW Foundation, if you can't tell your story and Warren does not give you the scholarship, it's not her fault, because you have to tell it for her to be convinced that you deserve this opportunity. So you have to figure out how to tell the story. So which is just what I'm just trying to explain here. So connect your previous experience, your present experience, and where did you get this from? Tiga, where did you get this from? So connecting your experiences really helps a lot, because it just helps to show that you are sure of what you want to do and how you want to do it. And yet again, you can see that your personal statement is also very important when you are applying for scholarship, because this is also where you show your portfolio. Because many scholarships, the only way they can assess you is either through your essays or through your personal statement, or if they ask for a video recording, then a video. But the major ways is either an essay or your personal statement. So this is what we show, how authentic you are, to know who you are and what you are. And like I said last week, please avoid writing generic personal statements. Make it personalized, so that when I see your story, your statement, it's memorable. It makes sense to me, because when I open your CV, I can see you in your CV. When I go to your recommendation letter, I can also see the recommendation letter, and then when I come back to reading your stories, so it sticks to my head, and because you have personalized your writing. And this is what you can also do, even using the support from using some of these AI tools. You can put them together if you give them the right prompts, tell them what you want them to give to you. That can work as well. Okay. Then another two major part I also want to stress on is your recommendation. I thought about this last week. The recommendation letter is something people do not take really important, yet it's one of the most important documents. I always give an example when I talk about recommendations, right? That assuming you are an employer, and you have and you have, let's say, two persons you want to give this job to, and you have asked them that, can you get me a recommendation letter from your previous employer? So employee A brought a recommendation, and the employer says, oh, I know Miss A, she's very intelligent, she's mentally stable, because that's one of the things that majority of standard referees will say. She's mentally stable, she's intelligent. I recommend her for the scholarship. Please give her give her your scholarship. Then category B, or Miss B, referee will say, oh, I have known Miss B for over 10 years, and she has worked with me on this position at XYZ company. When she came into the company, we were at this level, and due to her experience at this and that, we have been able to maximize our impact. We have now have an impact of over 2,000 persons in the last 2 months. So B is giving more contents to how Miss B have impacted their organization. If you were to be the new employer, whose recommendation would you go for? Of course, obviously, you go for Miss B's recommendation, because the person has put in more information, more content that you want to see, that have given you the confidence to say, yes, if the previous employer can say this about this person, then I can trust this person's judgment. This is the importance of recommendation letters. So when you choose a referee, choose someone who know you well. If they don't know you well, provide the information they need that will make them know you well. Let it be that, oh, I know her on a paper, right? So which includes giving them like your CV, or your achievements so they can help you write a very good recommendation, or better still, give them a draft of what they should write about. And also, please get people who you also know or who you feel can write well on your behalf, because some scholarships will send them an email for them to complete on your behalf. And you will not be there when they will click the submit button before they go and write rubbish on your behalf. So you want to choose the people well, people who can speak well about your impact, about your character, about your achievement, because this is a powerful tool that can also speak in favor of you. So you want to submit good recommendation. And lastly, I would say that consistency and focus is also very important. Like I said earlier, if you're choosing a career path or choosing the field you want to go into, have a plan B. So if I cannot find scholarship in this field of nursing, can I choose public health? Can I choose any other health related program? If I cannot choose, if I cannot see courses in, let's say, engineering, what else can I choose that is also good? So have, one or two teams or field of study that you want to focus on, so that once they come in, you also build. So while you choose those options, you build your portfolio around those options, and you're also able to come, and you're also able to submit your applications around those options. And as well, one thing that also helps you as well is your community engagement and impact, which I will talk about extensively shortly. So yeah, your academic profile is very important. So it's very good for you to build them as much as you can. You have to be very deliberate about this. You do not have a choice. For me, personally, right now, I know that at a point in my life, I'm going to go get my PhD, right? I'm not ready for PhD. But now, what should I do to keep myself relevant before I say, okay, I want to get into PhD? So I have to figure out how to also be in the academic field, so that they will still see that my footprint is still there, right? So one of the things I'm personally doing right now is, okay, I think I should go back to my previous, my master's project and try to publish it. That's also a way to keep me relevant. And in that way as well, I'm going to go back to my previous supervisor and also keep that relationship with him. So that when I need him for my future applications, he will also be there to support me in my future application. So it's just the strategy that you can use to prepare yourself for your future application. So very key important thing. So this is building competitive leadership profile. So this one is something that people still do not take very important, except a few persons who just have that zeal to impact and give back, right? I remember a friend telling me that, Lucy, why are you always, with the way you are busy, you're still looking for a way to get busier? Because at the time I was like, okay, I want to look for organizations within my city I can volunteer with. I just want to get involved. I said, let me impact those within my community. So how do I volunteer with them? So I was looking at for organizations within my city I can. And my friend was like, Lucy, why do you always look for things that will keep taking your time? You don't have time, but yet you're looking for what you would do to take the little time you have. But then I was like, okay, how do I explain to this person that opportunities like this are also very good for my profile, right? I can't just sit and not do anything meaningful when it comes to me impacting those around me. So just very few persons understand what it means to build leadership and community impact. However, if you are not really good in this area, I would say try to ensure that you're engaged in this, because it's very important. I would say 80-90% of scholarships look at for those who have leadership and community engagement impact. Many scholarships need this. So if you don't have it, you're already one step down already. So you want to, also build your profile in this. So it's more about creating impact, driving change, and impacting or inspiring those around you. So now, how do you build this kind of profile? So first thing is that you need to take leadership roles. So this can be in your church group, in your school group, in your community, at work, anywhere you can take initiative to lead. Even in your church, in your streets, you can take initiative to lead. Okay, assuming you don't know what to do, assuming okay, you don't know what to do, and then you are from a small community, you have a group, you have students or pupils in your street that you may want to teach mathematics or teach science. That's something. So that is also impact stories that you can tell that, oh, this is what I do. So just start or look at for a way to contribute to solving a problem around you. And with all of this, you're going to demonstrate all of this through the impact you have done. Example, you're writing an essay, you say, oh, I was involved in a community leadership program in my community, and I was able to impact 15 girls who joined our programs. I was able to impact 20 girls in the last 2 months. So those numbers are what you also need in your application. So scholarship look at for future leaders and not just high achievers. They want to see what you have done and not just what you will say, right? They want to see that, okay, this person can actually be a leader in the future based on what they are currently doing. Okay. Another thing is for you to also build your global and community engagement opportunities. So this can be through volunteering, like I said earlier, show your awareness for global challenges. A lot of problems we have around us, right? So, what do you do to help mitigate this problem? For instance, Africa, some areas in Africa, there's lots of poverty over there. Kids don't go to school. They don't know the importance of education. So you that is learning, what do you do to help mitigate this? Because this will be a big problem in the future. If they don't go to school, that's where you're going to see that kids get into different forms of vices in the community. We see armed robbers, we see those who kill, and all of those kind of things we see around us. But if they have the knowledge of education is a key to better future and they get back to school, you're solving a problem already, right? So you have to demonstrate your commitment to giving back through any of these means, volunteering, community engagement, and this is what many scholarships will prioritize. Imagine applying for WAAW Foundation scholarship, and even if you do not have the best results, and Wura sees that, oh, you're already in one or two NGOs around your school and you're already doing voluntary activities, Wura will choose you that is like a 2-2 candidate over who have a first class and not doing anything around community, because there's already a sign that this person can lead, this person can impact, or this person can still build WAAW Foundation chapter at her school because she already have the experience doing this. But if you are a first class graduate and you just want to come and collect the money and you don't have the interest to give back, that won't drive us alone. That you have a first class won't drive us alone. What else do you do aside school and academics, right? So it's very good to get engaged in things like that. Can you leave there? So it's very good to get engaged in activities like this to just help build your profile. Now, other key points that could also help is when you do all of these activities in volunteering, community engagement, you also need to show this when you apply for scholarships. Now, you show what you have done, what has changed, and the result. I'll give you an example. I remember during my NYSC in Nigeria, our National Youth Service, I had to do some they call it personal community development project, where I choose schools around my community, around where I was serving. I said in Abuja, Nigeria. So I chose few public schools and I go there to talk to girls about STEM education. Right. So in a space of about 9 months, I did this program. I was able to impact over 1,000 girls. Now, what changed? So I realized that why I was going for this, why I was going for these programs. Initially, many girls also did not have interest in STEM. For them, oh, let me just go to school and get into art course or business related course because they felt like science is meant for the guys. But before I was done with those programs, a couple of girls really had interest in STEM. Why? Because they could see me, a girl doing or enrolled or graduated as as an engineering student. So they were like, oh, if Lucy could do it, then I can also do it. So that really increased my number of results of seeing that more girls were able to show interest in STEM field or in STEM areas. And over time, from having 20 girls in my class, I could then at a time get like 70 students show interest to want to learn, to want to listen. And even their teachers could testify how they are now better in their academics. So now you have seen how I have talked about, what I was doing during my NYC program, and what I did, what changed, and what was the result. So you also want to talk about this kind of numbers in your applications. For instance, I led a team of 10 girls or students to XYZ program and increase participation by 40% in 2 days or in 6 months. So these numbers also helps as well, because we want to see numbers and not just stories. So what do you want to tell us for us to see that is what you have been up to? And most importantly, whatever you're doing, you are solving a problem. For me, I saw a gap that many girls do not want to pursue a career in STEM because we feel that it is more for the guys. Why not go into arts courses or business courses and leave physics and chemistry for the guys to struggle with? But now I have seen that even we girls can do it if we put our mind to it, if we have the right mentors like myself coming to encourage you and show you this is how you need to do or what you need to do. So in that way, of course, I've created a solutions to seeing that more girls are not pursuing a career in STEM. So these are some of the key things you need to also consider, or how you tell your story or your impact when you're applying for scholarships. Because they are very, very important key things to take note of. Okay. Any question before I move forward? Tejuri, please, no noise, okay?
It's just making the noise.
Okay, if no question, I'll just move further. So yeah, again, I'm just about to get into the part of scholarship, like strategy and more like reminder of what we had discussed in the previous weeks. So I thought to just show this roadmap again, that when applying for scholarship, these are some of the key things that you would going to experience, which is one, you need to find a scholarship to apply for, right? What do you want to apply for? Two, when you find what you want to apply for, what document do you need to apply for them, right? The next one will be submit your applications, and then you wait for results. Not all scholarships need you to undergo interview process. A few do, a few don't do. So depending on the scholarship and their processes. Okay. Now, application reviews and improvement strategies. And so this is also part of the final part of reminder about what you need to do or how you need to improve what you currently do. Tega, please. Okay. What you also currently need to do to improve what you are currently doing. So the first thing is review your strategy, the scholarship criteria first. So read this very carefully before you begin any applications. What are they looking for? Like in the last couple of days, I would say even every day, people come to my DM to say, "Oh, Lucy, I want to apply for scholarship and I don't know what to even do." And I'm like, God, how do I tell these people that you need to go and check scholarship requirements? You need to read to know what to do before you can even start. Right. So the first thing is checking the criteria or the requirement before you start. Secondly, also check how this aligns to your background, your goals, scholarship goals. So how do you connect all of this together? Because if you cannot connect it, it means that you cannot tell your story well. It means that you cannot submit a good application. So you have to figure out how you're going to tell your story. I remember when one of my mentees were applying for scholarship, this scholarship in the UK, development solution scholarships, right? So she was like, okay, one of their goals is they want people who can tell them how they are going to solve a particular problem in their country. So what is the problem you have identified and how do you want to solve this problem? So for her, she didn't even have an idea of what to do or how to even start. So I thought that, you know what, go think to years ago, or think about now that you are practicing as a physiotherapist in Nigeria, what is a major problem you encounter or your patients come to talk about? Then once you identify the problem, think about how you are currently supporting that problem. What are you currently doing to help solve that problem in your community? It is with that storyline you can properly write an essay that would make sense, because you can't tell me that you're applying for an essay about this is what I want to do in my country when I am done with school, and at the moment you are not doing it yet. For me, it looks like you're just telling a story that may never happen. So you see that you have to understand what they are looking for and align your background to how you're going to talk about that story in your application. So it is very important to have that understanding before you begin your applications. Another thing is your statement, which is your story, is also very important. Avoid writing generic statements, make it personalized, give specific examples, maybe about your experience, about an application, about what you have done. Try give an example, and also measurable achievement as well. And again, before you submit, also still review your applications before you submit them. Again, I'm saying this again, your document needs to be very strong enough to be able to, for you to be able to, apply for or submit good applications. And also, another secret I also want to share with you guys is this last point is very important, right? Sometimes you have an idea of what to do, but it is good to learn from those who have gone through that path and succeeded. There was a girl I was also trying to mentor. One thing she does that I like so much, which I'll share with you guys, is whenever she wants to apply for scholarship, she goes on YouTube and LinkedIn to check for people who have also won these scholarships, and to check if they have shared any tips on what they did and how they did it. It is actually very easier if you get somebody that have won a scholarship and share their thoughts on YouTube. It's quite easier because they talk through what they did, how they shared their experience, or even how they approach their essays. They will explain what they did and how they wrote their essays. Even personally, when I won scholarship, I also made on my YouTube channel. This is an example of how I wrote my scholarship essays, right? So people share their story. So it will be good for you to also look at for that part as well. So if you're applying for a particular scholarship, look for somebody who have won that scholarship. And sometimes you could send them a code email or a code message on LinkedIn, and they may respond to you. If they are not busy, they can respond. Some can even offer to share their tips with you. Some can say, oh, pay me for my time and I can review your applications for you. But in any ways, try to look out for those who have won that same scholarship previously and get some advice for them. So just for you to know that winning a scholarship is not just about you writing an application once. You need to always apply, because the more you apply for scholarship, the more you are refining your application process, the more you are getting more clearer understanding, and the more you are getting better over time. So like I said, if you're applying for one scholarship a year, in fact, if you're applying for 5 scholarship a year, that means you have not yet started. If you're applying for just 5 in a year, you are yet to start the journey. So do what to apply for as many as possible, because experience is the best teacher. That's just all I can say. Any question before? I heard somebody was trying to come off mic. Was anyone trying to ask a question? Okay, yeah, I'll just move on. And here is the final step, just for you to, like, another very quick summary again. I talked about this on the first day of the class, right? All of this, just like a recap again, is first of all, get a scholarship tracker. It can be your tracker can be anything. It can be a Word document. It can be an already existing tracker that we have on our website, ScholarWaka. If you go to our product page, you're going to see a tracker that we have. You can purchase one for yourself. Just get a tracker for yourself that can help you have just will make you stay more organized because you have a goal to apply for scholarship next year. And when you have this goal, find this scholarship that aligns to your profile and your field. Look for as many as possible. Even in ScholarWaka, we also have a scholarship database. We have over 300 scholarship on our database. If you go to our product site as well, you can also get a copy of that for yourself. Over 300 scholarship. Don't tell me that if you go to those scholarship, you will not see 30 that will align to your field of study. There is no way if we go there, you will not see what aligns to your field of study. So this is important for you to get all of this so you can be better prepared. For instance, some of them might open January next year, December this year, February next year. If you begin to prepare from today, which is trying to get, okay, what are the questions for application essays? Let me begin to draft my essays. Let me find who have won a scholarship before. Let me get tips on how, you have 6 months to plan ahead. It makes you, be in a better place. And then once you have identified what people want to apply for, prepare for them ahead of when they will open. Read and understand all their requirements, gather all your documents, write your scholarship application draft, write your draft and look for how you're going to review them. Sometimes it's good for somebody to help you just have a look at what you have written, to help cross your eyes, help cross your T's, do all of those final check, proofreading, reviewing, and then before your final submissions. So this just tells us about all we have learned from day one and day to day, right? Summary of everything that we have learned from day one and day to day. And yeah, before I get
Hi, Lucy.
oh
Hi,
yeah.
Lucy. Before you move to this part, there's a question in the chat room. Can you see it? Are you
Okay,
able to see it?
I will have to go. Oh, okay, I'm back. I didn't know Mac laptop wahala. I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was trying to check for the whatever, and then I didn't know that I closed my tab.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Do you want me to redrop? Do you want me to drop in the chat room, or you still have
Oh
access?
yeah, everything cleared. Yeah, can you
Okay.
redrop the message?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me.
Yeah, all the messages cleared. Hi, Perpetua. I know Perpetua. Nice to see you here.
Give me a second. I don't know why it keeps closing. Okay. You should be able to see it now.
Okay, yeah, I can see it now. Okay, if you are applying for a completely new subject, which is not just your experience or it's telling a story or motivation. So in this particular case, it is okay to so it also depends on what you are switching to. Also be mindful that not all scholarships are like now scholarships in Australia or schools in Australia, they prefer, for example, they prefer that you study what you have studied from your previous background. They will not appreciate that you're just switching from whatever to a different course entirely because to them it doesn't make any sense, right? So it's good to understand that if those countries or the scholarship would would want that. And if you ask me, how do I know if they want that? I don't even know how you're going to know. But based from my experience, I know that scholarships or studying in Australia itself, even Canada, I think in Canada as well, they also appreciate that you also study around your field of study. But countries like UK, they don't mind, right? You can, easily switch if you meet their entry requirement and all of those. So it's okay for you to also use your motivation to tell your story. For instance, I know someone that was trying to apply for, what example will I use? I have a couple of examples. Okay, let me use nursing for example, right? So someone has studied previously, let's say a bachelor's degree in arts, or no, let me not use art, maybe any other science related subject. And this person really, really have interest to study another BSc in nursing. Now, you do not have any background in nursing previously or health related program previously, but you have always had an interest in nursing. Now, your motivation could be an experience you've had. Let's say at a time you lost a neighbor or lost a cousin or lost whatever due to negligence, right? There was no good health attention in your village or in your community. And because of all of this, having experienced this kind of having had this kind of experience in your community and have lost lots of people around you has given you the interest for you to go through or study nursing. So you're not telling your story based on your personal experience and how you want to change this because of the personal experience you've had. And if you are also planning to switch to a different career or different field, it's also be good for you to also have a level of experience in those areas, right? So if, for instance, you're going into nursing, for instance, I should be able to see some motivation when it comes to hands-on experience. So I'm not saying you should be a nurse or be an auxiliary nurse, but what are you currently doing that shows that you are in the field of nursing? Maybe you are doing voluntary with NGO and the health related field. You are doing health extension programs. I should be able to see that you want to switch. You have the interest, but there's a tangible experience you also have, which is also through volunteering. So that also helps for you to be able to do that transition into a different field if you have just, for example, for those who may say, okay, I want to go into communications. I love to write, so I like to go in the area of communications, community development, or international development. I'm very good at writing. I can tell a story. So there should also be a place where I can see that you are also really involved in this kind of field. Maybe you're working with an organization as your communication expert or your social media manager, or if I go to your profile on social media, I can tell that you're the type that really loves to write, that really loves to impact, or who wants to tell their story to impact others, right? So there should be something you need to show that shows that this is a new field I want to go into, and I should see an evidence of why you are going into that. So I hope this. Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, so I hope this answers your question. Um, Whoever that asks the question, did this answer your question? Do you want to come off camera and come on and maybe ask anything specific if this does not answer your question?
Yeah, thank you, Lucy. It has actually answered me.
Okay.
But again, I feel like I still have more questions, so maybe perhaps I will reach out to you after the meeting.
Oh, that's fine. That's no problem.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem. Thanks, Kerry. Yeah, any other question before I move to the other part of what we need to look together? Okay, yeah, I have just seen. So I've just seen your essay, your application now, Winifred, and I'm just trying to check if it's something I can go through very quickly on the call. So at least I know Winifred very well. So Winifred is writing something about a scholarship now that's around creative writing or whatever. And I know Winifred to be someone that have always loved writing. I know she even also have a, is it a blog they call it? She has a blog. I think at some point I was one of your subscribers. I do get your newsletters. So someone like Winifred, whose background is not in this field of creative writing, right? I think your background was your background was something STEM related, but she has over the years built an experience in writing, in storytelling, even blog writing. She has a newsletter. So if you want to switch from STEM into anything that has to do with communications, creative, whatever, it's quite easy because over the years she has built her experience in that field. So that's why I always talk about your passion can also help you switch from whatever you used to do to a new field. But then how can I trust that if you switch to this area or this field, you'll be able to, really, really do that? Okay. Wait, I've seen your work, but this is not what I can just glance through right now and then just give shallow feedback, right? So maybe I wish this came earlier. I'd have been able to I've been able to digest this. Yeah, and because we don't have so much time today, so I'll have a look at that and give you feedback, Winifred. Okay.
All right.
Um.
So
Yeah,
much.
no problem. Any other question before I just quickly talk or show you guys about how I use AI to perform some magic, or how you can use AI to enhance some of the tools that you need when applying for scholarship. Okay, let me have some documents. I will use open. Um, all right, so let me just share my screen back quickly. Okay, so in this part where I talk about AI or AI generated draft, how you can use this to help enhance your application. So first thing is it will be good for you to really know how to use these AI tools, right? So AI tools will they give you what you ask from them. If you say, oh, I want to write a personal statement, give me a sample of a statement, they will give you whatever they want to give to you, right? Whatever that comes to their head, they will give it to you. And for someone like us or someone like me that is really experienced in reviewing lots of applications, I can tell when I see an AI generated draft, right? So it is very important for you to also understand how to use this tool for your own good, because I believe that, of course, AI came and it has been very helpful. It has made life easy. Even me, in fact, at my place of work, we use Copilot. They gave us premium access to Copilot. So writing an email is no longer, if I want to write an email now, in 3 minutes, I'm done drafting my email because Copilot will help me make life easy. And I'm off to the next task. They want us to be efficient at work, and they have brought this tool for us to use to make us efficient, right? So, but then schools also understand that people can be very lazy to not use this thing well, right? It helps us to make life easy. However, you need to also know how to use and even when to use it. So I will just show you guys how I use AI, or how you can also use AI to put your stories together to help you get a good draft for an essay. I'll give an example of how I was trying to help someone write a personal statement for his application. The person sent me a draft, but the draft was not good enough. It was not giving. I was like, what is this thing? Even me, I cannot even give you an admission with this kind of draft. Let me see if I even have it open. Let me close these essays. Oh, it looks like I closed it. Oh, so let me see. So someone sent me this draft, and I was like, this one is not giving. No, the story is just looking very scattered. It's not giving me what I want to what I want. So what I told the person was, you know what, send me a voice note of a time, because this person is a nurse in Ghana and he wants to apply for a course that is in public health, because the program was trying to apply for the scholarship you're applying for, they do not have a nursing course. So, which means that it can also align his application to public health. I told him, you know what? I want your story to be you. I don't want to just write anything from my head like an AI, because I am not you. I can't tell your story. Just send me a voice note of what comes to your mind. What is a particular health problem that you have encountered in your community that you feel like, if I have the chance, or if I have the knowledge, I'll be able to fix this. Right. So he sends me a voice note about some experience he had during COVID-19, and even some common diseases that lead to death of people. Malaria, people have hypertension. So these are common sicknesses or illness we have everywhere and anywhere. But because of lack of information, lack of awareness, lack of management of these illnesses, people just die, when this can be managed, right? So he wants to, as a nurse who have experienced this almost every day of his career, like people just die out of what can be managed. He wants to go into public health field and see what he can do. I said, okay, yeah, send me a voice note. So he sent me a voice note, and what I did was just for me to play the voice note to ChatGPT. Now I played the voice note to it and then gave it a prompt. So sometimes when you want to write a personal statement, it is good for you to also understand what the school requires from you, right? Some schools will give you some prompts to say, okay, tell us what motivated you to apply for this program, right? What is your motivation for studying a career in nursing? Or it could say, or they could tell you, how has this experience aligned to your previous goal? So in this case, as even I have the guy's story, or I have his voice that he has played to me, I will just, on my ChatGPT, whatever, it will be playing on the background, right? As it's playing on the background, I will go back to his CV. And then I will copy his experience, because now I also want to align his experiences to the personal statement. I don't want it to sound very vague in terms of, okay, I'm applying for this program, and I want to ensure that whatever I'm applying for also aligns to my work experience. AI will help you to arrange all of this in a good place, right? So I can copy his previous work experience, right? I can copy it and paste it into ChatGPT and just put it here and give it the prompt I want to give it. And then, like I said earlier, also get what the school needs from you. So school will also talk about. So what I also add to personal statement is, so let me see if I have the link to this school open. This is public health. Okay, yeah. So this is one of the schools. So this is a public health at University of Nottingham, right? So one thing I also do is I also add the link to the university's profile to or the university course page on my ChatGPT profile. So it helps me to generate some information from the page, and that will also help me to have the information I need to see on my essay. So I can also add this here as well. Or you know what? Let me preferably just do the prompt live rather than just talking through it, right? So now let's draft a statement for a nurse that have interest to pursue a career in public health. So I can start with giving it a prompt to say, I am applying for an MSc in Public Health at the University of, is this Nottingham? Okay, Nottingham. This is the course. So this is the course page. So this is me now adding the link to the course page so it can understand what I needed to give to me. Now I like my statements to be personalized and aligned to my work profile and experiences. So please align to my work experience too. Right. So also, I did not pick that up before this call. So many schools do also drop for you how they want you to write their personal statement. So it would be good for you to also check to see, okay, how did this, because some people will say, can I use one personal statement for all applications? It's a yes and it's a no, because different schools have how they want to write the personal statement. So for instance, now for this particular school, I can just check on their website if I could see guides to their personal statements on their website. So I'm doing like a general check to see. If I don't see, I will just go with a standard personal statement, personal statement format. Let me see if I'm going to see any personal statement guide. I can find that in, let's say, how to applying for third program. So you can see what this is about using of AI, right? They're sort of telling you that, oh, you want application to also articulate your work and experience. So be careful how you. So it is also very important for you to understand what the school says about AI and how you can also use it. I can't see any guides here now about, yeah. Yeah, I didn't look for a sample down, so maybe I'll just go on with what comes to my head, right? Let me go on with what comes to my mind. Okay, so I'm giving it now that I want you to also show my experience in this field. So you can either attach your CV to this, or I think I've used all my attachments for today. I can't attach anything again today because I've used a couple of it already today. So what I could do is I could just come here and copy the person's CV and paste it here, right? So it gives me, I don't know this information. So it gives it some information that I need, right? And then I could say, oh, no, let me pause it. Do I edit this again? Okay, so now here's where I want to give you some prompt to talk about my motivation. So in this case, since I'm talking about someone else's story, I should have just done maybe a voice note as to what he had given me before, because this is not my story, somebody else's story, right? I can give it like a voice note to what he could add to this place around his experience he had managing some problems or some health related problems when he was practicing as a nurse in his home country or his community. But I don't want to go through that long step. So I can just write some prompt to just talk about I have experienced some health related issues when working. Sorry, I'm not a health person, so I will just look for a story. Let me even see if I can pick something from this is old statements. There's nothing here I can pick. This is some health related. Aged and young. Be controlled. Oh, really? Okay, just giving it some prompt that comes to my head. I'm not a head person, so I don't know the right word to use. But anyways, I'm giving in all of this and also align the statements to the course modules and how this will help me solve this problem in local context, especially when I return to my home country. So this is just me giving it like a very rough prompt of what I needed to give to me. And once I get a prompt, I will be able to then go back to rework on this based on my experience or based on how I want this to look like on my personal statement, and then I'll begin to work on it. Right. So this format just helps to give you a more structured statement that is not too personalized. Like I said, you also have to be very careful when you use AI because you don't want everything to look like it was all generated. You need to take your time to go through each of these lines to see that it talks about you and it is you, right? Because if you do not follow that process, it can still detect that, or you can still tell that this was not AI written or this was AI written. And many schools also have AI detector, right? So if a school have an AI detector, they can also tell that this thing you've written was AI written. There are people who are very good at writing their draft, their personal statement and everything, and it gives them what they want. Why for some, you just need this as a support to help you put this together. Another thing I also tell people is that if AI give you a draft, you can also rephrase the statement to sound or be like you. You can just try to retweak the paragraph, the sentences, so that it looks like it is not just AI generated. You could also like refine it to sound or be like it was you that wrote it. So with this now, I have gotten like a very good draft, which I can then transfer to, which I can copy from here, which I can transfer to, let's say I open a new document I can transfer to a new document, and then I can take my time to begin to put this together. Now, what I will do in this case is I will just ensure that I read through every word that are written here and ensure that whatever that I've written here, they sound like me and it speaks like me. That's what I will do. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this press is that you can see how this has captured his work experience at different levels. You can see, oh, he's worked as family, hospital, doing his NYSC or national service. It's captured his different work experience at different places. But I will still go back to ensure that whatever I have picked here also aligns to my really my work experience, and also ensure that whatever they also put on this AI has given me here, I can also ensure that it aligns to what the school wants me to study in this case, right? So that is one way you can get an AI draft. At least this will give you something to start with. To give you a draft to start, and then you enhance it using the school's guidelines, using the school website, and all of this information. Another thing you could also do for those who may be thinking about, okay, how do I also have a very good, let's say, recommendation letter? Once you write a recommendation letter for a particular scholarship, and they have also given you a prompt for the recommendation letter, you can also drop the prompt on AI, and for the person that is giving you that recommendation letter, if you had worked with them at some point, you could also copy that particular line where you did some work in their company. And then AI can give you a good draft as well that aligns to the work you had done with them, and also align to the the outline of what the scholarship wants you to write about. Okay. So this is one of the ways you can use AI to help you generate your applications. Another thing which is also very easy is you can talk to AI. You can just use your voice note here. Tell it what comes to your mind, how you want to write the story, and then it will help you put it together to come out well or to sound well. Okay. And so because of time, I'm really unable to dive deep into this part of AI, but I hope this tips is helpful. Um, like I would always say, or I would say this is a disclaimer. I'm not saying you should use AI to draft all your applications. It can never be perfectly sound. It cannot be perfectly perfect if you do not also take your time to go to the draft it gives to you. It only helps you to refine. Sometimes if I'm struggling to write a statement and they said, oh, 500 words and I have maybe 600 words, AI can help me cut the words to the number of word count I need. But then I will still not use all the word they have given to me. I will prefer to use my own copy that I have written, and then use its own to compare and see, okay, what should I remove to make my own cut down to the word count I'm looking for. So that's just why is this thing going down? So that's one of the ways you can use this tool for your own good, but just be smart when you use it so it does not in any way affect your applications as you apply for different programs. So I wish I got examples or samples before now. I'd have been able to give practical examples, but this is what I can come up with. And also another thing you could also use AI for is your CV. Like I said the last time, if you have a CV that you want to work on, you can still use the AI to help you make it look better. As you can see, I reworked on this person's CV because it's one of those things I offer as a services. I can refine your CV to look better. And one of the things I did is that AI can also help you make your CV look as good as this. All you need to do is for you to put it on the tool and tell it how you want it to look like, or how you want your job description to look like. So it will help you rearrange it to make it look better, so that once you have it on your application, it comes out well arranged, and it's good to go. um I hope this was helpful. Is there any question, any specific question or guides or question? Yeah. before I move over to, I think I'm literally at the last part of my slides. Okay, so here talks about how we can support you. So at ScholarWaka, we have a more detailed, personalized way that we teach all of this, or I go deeper into teaching all of this. So because of time, I'm not able to do this right now. So we do this through our mentorship programs. And if you're applying for different scholarships, you want us to help review, assess your applications, we also offer all of those as well. Like I said earlier, we also have our different products. If you're looking for scholarship tracker, database of over 300 scholarships, you can go search and find what you might want to apply for in the coming application cycles. Or better still, even explore our scholarship website. There are, don't want to make this mistake and medicate. We have lots of scholarship on our website. You can also explore so many other scholarship on our website. You can also explore. So once you come to our website, just come to scholarship by countries. If you have other countries you have interest in, or scholarship by levels, you're looking for scholarship for bachelor's degree, for master's degree, for PhD. We have so many of them here, right? That you can, explore and apply for that. Some of them that might even allow you to study from your home country. Like now, this Commonwealth scholarship is study from your home country. It's also very good for those who have goal to go for PhD. You can do an online master's program, and then after this, use that experience to apply for PhD. So just explore as many as possible. And for those who are also looking for global opportunities like internships, fellowships, we have them as well on our website. You can check them out and see what you can apply for. These also help you to build your portfolio as well. Go for opportunities like fellowships, and they are also funded by different bodies. A lot of them here you can explore, and yeah. Okay, and my next slide is, any question? I'm 1 minute on time. Do we have any questions? Happy to get your feedback. How was it? What do you think? And I'll also be looking forward to your feedback as well on the form, so we can also better know what to improve on in our next trainings.
Hi, does anybody want to speak? You can use the hand raise what's that word, emoji. Then you just take the floor to speak. But if you want to drop in the chat room, that would be fine. But let's hear from you guys. We roughly spent 6 hours in total in the last two weeks. It will be good that we hear voices, we hear feedback, let's hear from you.
All right, it's fine. You can. Okay, someone wants to speak. Go on. I thought I heard someone wanted to speak.
Mopfin, follower, your hands are raised. Your hands are raised.
So I'm trying to take care of that. I have a question.
Your voice is very faint. If you can hear me clearly, your voice is faint.
Okay. Hear me clearly now, ma.
It's better.
Okay. So as regards scholarship that want to see how our leadership experience has been, volunteering and all that, you mentioned including maybe your leadership experience in a religious organization and all. So most times I'm always very confused on how I want to tailor my particular leadership experience in a church or organization, for example, to fit into leadership roles. So I don't know if you could just share some insight as to how I can go about it. Because sometimes I have to put into consideration that this is not a religious organization, and just makes me sometimes just filter it out of my leadership experience.
Okay, that's a very good question. So one thing is that can be on your CV, right? That can be on your CV. And note that not all scholarships really would ask you for leadership experience during your essay. It also depends on the prompt they give you to write about, right? If they don't say anything about leadership, it means that you may not shout leadership, because different scholarship have their own goals. That is what their essays will look like. Like now for WAAW Foundation, for instance, the scholarship are usually around impact and leadership. You will see it in WAAW Foundation scholarship essays, right? But then for other scholarship, I don't know which one I will use now on top of my head. Okay, let me use one I reviewed recently, which is the Global Solutions Scholarship in the UK. They are more about development solutions in your country. What problem have you solved? So there's nothing about leadership in that particular content, but you could add leadership in between the lines. For instance, if you're talking about, oh, we talk about a solution you have solved, and let's say you solve the problem or you solve that particular thing in church, you could say, why I was leading as the youth, whatever at in my church, I was able to execute XYZ. I was able to do this. So you must not say I am a church. Church doesn't sound like a church girl thing, right? But on your CV, it states that you have that experience. And in between, when you're trying to tell your story, you can just mention it at a high level and then just go straight into what was the impact or what was the thing you did, right? So if a client does not mention you talking about leadership, as it's not a key thing for them, it's okay to have it on your CV. But then if it is a major thing that you want to highlight as a problem you have solved or something you want to highlight, you could just say the role high level when I led as this in church, straight go into the impact that you have done. So you don't have to like shout too much about church. But more details will be on your CV, which they always would check to see what you have been up to.
To leadership and volunteering experiences, like how many can we include on the CV? That will not be too many.
That's a good question. I would say it also, so it depends on how long is, because some scholarship will say the CV should not be more than 2 pages long, 3 pages long. If you have good experience, that oh, this experience is really good, I would say have them on your CV. So just have the top good ones. Of course, when you want to choose which is better, you know what to choose, right? So if you have very good ones, let's say up to 3, up to 4, we can add them. Just have like a good bullet point that will just summarize them for you. So because it also highlights your experiences and your skills. The top good ones are fine. But don't make your CV more than 3 pages long. Let's say Mars, maybe if you have a PhD, you have so many publications, there may be 4. But yeah, nothing more than 3 pages long of a CV, if it is possible. Yeah. So put your top best, your top best. If there are too many and you don't want to mention all of them, anyone you plan to highlight in your applications, those are the ones you should then leave or have on your CV. So let's say you have 10 and you want to have an example of maybe 1 or 2 in your essay. You can then maybe add 3 or 4 in your CV if you think that having all of them on your CV will be too much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And remember that your LinkedIn is also a CV, right? It's also a digital CV. So if you don't want to add them on your, if you don't want to add them as well, everything on your CV, go dump them as well on your LinkedIn, because these people do check. I know someone, a friend, who if you want to employ someone in a company, you should go and check your Facebook page to see how responsible you are on Facebook. And I'm like, why is LinkedIn? And I said, no, these days we go check how people behave on a daily outside work. All right. So your LinkedIn can also be a place where you put all of those your experiences. If you feel like it will be too much to have on your CV, let it also be somewhere on your digital CV, right? Because people will do go there to check if they have the time.
Okay, thank you. My name is Evelyn from Ghana.
Hi,
Yeah.
Evelyn.
Hi. Okay. I'm very much grateful for this thought you've been giving to us. This is my first time of applying for scholarship. Then I applied for WAAW scholarship and I'm able to join this inspiring team.
It's good.
Apply for the stage 2. I pray that I'll go for the final. I'm studying electrical electronics engineering, the real practical. So at times, what I'm doing, some people will see me, my fellow girls will see me, say, hey, a lady pa, and you are doing this. At times, I don't even have time for class. I will escape class and go for work during classes hour in order to just to get money, earn money, and come and pay for my school fees. But all that people are just praising me, they feel very motivated that they want to go into the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm much.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So yeah, it's like I said, it's okay for you to have work experience. They are all important. However, your academics as well is also very important. So you don't want anyone to suffer. Okay. So because if you really have a goal to target bigger scholarships after your current study, they will look at for good academic grades. So as you're working, trying to balance, just try to balance school and life, school and work balance. So you are able to also have good time for studies and also perform well in academics, because these are also very key, important things as well that will help you in your future applications.
Thank you.
Problem.
Okay. Do we have any
Yeah.
other question?
Any other
Only-
question?
Okay, there's none. We don't have any other one, at least in the chat room, and there's no indication as well. Okay. So thank you all so much for joining. I just have an announcement. So one of the things that we'll be trying to do is, especially since we've started this arm of it, which is the scholarship part, we are really hoping that in the month of May, we'll be bringing in one of the recruiting team from the Mastercard Foundation, the Scholar Program, to come guide those who are interested in applying. So in the month of May, we really look forward to it. So it's tentatively the last Saturday in the month of May. And for those who are interested in taking that scholarship program, the recruitment coordinator would be joining us and guiding. And one of the things she said is, I'm just coming in. Your people can ask me all the questions that they have. So this is me giving us the inside scoop ahead of announcements that we will make. But tentatively the month of May, the last Saturday in the month of May, will be having that one-on-one session with their team. So one of the things we are hoping is that all of this that you've learned from Lucy and the ScholarWaka team, you are able to put yourself together already prior to that May, so that by the time even when you're connecting with the recruitment team in May, you'll be speaking or asking your questions from a very more informed place for that. So that's a very critical strategic move that we've made, and we really hope it will be beneficial for you guys. Well, in the room now, do we have how many people, maybe with like a show of hands or anything, how many people are looking to apply for that program?
So if I may ask, I know they have different MasterCard. Is this any specific MasterCard scholarship or all MasterCard?
So the way the conversation came, sorry?
No, yeah, go on.
Okay, so the way it came, I think it's the one tied to the Edinburgh.
Okay,
The one,
Edinburgh. Okay,
yes,
okay,
because she is a recruitment coordinator for Edinburgh. So
okay.
it's safe to assume that it's with that.
Okay, it's Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. So my advice for people is, So this is how you use this kind of opportunity. So when they come, you don't just come empty-handed or don't come prepared. So what I would say is, if you have, Adibam is a very good scholarship, a very, very good one. One good thing about Master Financial Scholarship are the ones that they do not have that condition of once you are done with school, go back home. They don't have that conditions like Commonwealth Scholarship, Chevening scholarships, and plus that freedom is also fully funded. It gives you everything you need. So that is why it is usually very competitive. So what I would advise you is, before that session, I know that scholarship is not going to open till like later in the year, but try to take your time to go find info about that scholarship. If possible, just do a dummy applications. This is why I talk about you preparing on time. Maybe for next year that are not yet open, go and begin to find them, right? And begin to go to people's DM to ask them, okay, I want to apply for scholarship next year. How do I this? How do I that? If you're not sure, let me quickly share my screen. I think we should have this on the ScholarWaka website. Scholarship in the UK. MasterCard. So if you're not sure what the scholarship looks like, just go find the information and begin to go dig whatever. Okay, yeah, this is it. They usually open around October and it closes around November. As you can see, it's fully funded, like it is robustly funded, and they are for African countries. So take your time, come to their website. I think I've made a video about it some time ago. It's even on my, you can watch the video directly from my, yeah, or go to my YouTube channel and find the full video, but you can find the full video here. So my advice for you is, before that session, please ensure that you figure out how to get the scholarship questions. If you go online, you see people that have applied for these questions or this particular scholarship before, get your dummy application. These are the different courses they offer. They have their own courses as well. Find the one that looks like what you can do. Just attempt the question. So when you come, you will see what you struggle with, and then you use those to ask the questions. I hope that's helpful. But find the scholarship program, find the link. I can drop the link in the comments. Find the information, get your dummy application. So once the person come on board, you're asking them questions based on your experience of applying for the scholarship. Yeah, thank you so much, Winifred. I just saw your comments. But Edibon does not have, because I want. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I hope this is helpful guide for those who want to be at that session, so you are better prepared. Do it to just go through their previous scholarship page and be prepared before the session. Yeah, I may even just come around as well to join that session, so I can also learn from the orgas. And that's it from me. Hurrah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lucy, and thanks for that inside information as well that you shared.
Yeah.
Thank you, Winifred, for your kind word. I'm just reading your chat. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like this feels like we've been saying, so thank you for this that you just dropped in. As well, for everyone who contributed, who participated, thank you, guys. One of the things we would come back to you with is, beyond this scholarship series, we hope to have other things that are going to be beneficial for you. So we're going to run like a need assessment survey with you, so we know what you need, and we can identify facilitators that can support what you need as well. So just be on the lookout. For those who are not on the alumni WhatsApp group, we'll share that link again so that you can join. But if more communication will happen in that group going forward. So thank you all. Really appreciate this. Wishing you all the best. Wishing you the absolute best in all that you'd be doing, and particularly the applications you'll be turning in. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So just my last word again. I know you guys have had enough of this, but just to throw it in that please prepare on time, start on time, begin to have a list of the ones you want to apply for, and begin to figure out how to attempt their questions. I remember one of my mentees, she used to work with WAAW Foundation, Grace, and she's now also in the UK. She won Commonwealth Scholarship as well. Grace began applying for her Commonwealth application like a year before they even opened. So, like months before application opened, she has written her draft, sent to me to help her review. So that shows that shows preparation, right? So you can also do that as well for anyone you want to apply for. Go find those scholarships. Go check what you need to do. Check how you need to do it. For instance, currently the GSK scholarship in South Korea is currently open. They have different means for you to submit the application. Either you submit through university nomination or embassy of a country nomination. If you're doing this, they said you need to authenticate a document in your country. If you are not aware of the process to submit an application for the GSA scholarship, you would not know what to do before application opens. And when it opens within 1 month, you can't achieve everything within 1 month. So that's the essence of preparing on time, so you have enough time to do all of this. And for you guys, Commonwealth, do you know WAAW Foundation nominates for Commonwealth scholarship? And they have slots as well. If you do not come to WAAW Foundation on time to say, oh, nominating for the Commonwealth scholarship, the slots might be filled early. And other than nomination, you need to also have strong applications because they want to see that your essays are good before they can add your name to the list. We don't want to waste slots, right? So preparations really help a lot. So I hope if you do not remember anything at all in this class, please remember I said prepare on time, one year ahead. So it just helps you to be in a better place. All right, guys. Do have a beautiful weekend, and it's such an honor to be here to speak to my WAAW Foundation people. And yeah, and all the best in your future applications. Thank you, Wura. And yeah, I'll be leaving now.
Thank you so much, Lucy.
All right then.
Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a good evening.